everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of The Other Guys, a 2010 movie starring Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell that I personally think is actually quite underrated. A takeoff on the buddy cop movies that you've seen for decades now, like Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. I think this movie was absolutely hysterical, and actually the funny thing is, I actually believe it was highlighted by a moment at the beginning of the film, or two characters at the beginning of the film played by Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock that are just hysterical. They're basically like the cops that you would see in a typical buddy cop movie where they're, you know, ruling the roost and everybody looks up to them, and then they have an ending to their characters that is just made me laugh so hard, and actually made me cringe really hard too simultaneously, if that's possible, because just the visualization of what they did looked really cool and interesting, but the way that they're dispatched out of the film just made me just die with laughter, and from that moment on I was in, and I personally think this movie is just filled to the brim with laughs. I really loved the dynamic between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. I think that they had a great deal of chemistry. The way they played off each other was fantastic, because you had Mark Wahlberg, who, don't get me wrong, is definitely funny in this movie, but is much more of kind of like the straight man, and then you have Will Ferrell, who's just outrageous, like Will Ferrell is wont to do. And then there's like all kinds of hysterical moments, like where they set up the fact that Will Ferrell's character is played by, is married to a woman that is played by Eva Mendes, and Mark Wahlberg's consternation that she would be with him is hysterical. The goofiness of some of the situations they get themselves in, and I thought was really funny. Overall, I feel like this movie is just an absolute underrated gem. It really boggles my mind that more people aren't big fans of it, because I personally feel like it's definitely one of Mark Wahlberg's best comedies, if not his best comedy. I mean, I think maybe one of his best comedic roles isn't in a comedy. I thought he was fantastic in a kind of entertaining and funny manner in The Departed. I think that's his best kind of comedic performance, but as far as actual comedies go, I feel like this one runs away with it. And I thought Will Ferrell, this is definitely up there with him. I mean, it's pretty hard to beat Old School and Anchorman in my personal view, but I would say this is definitely one rung below that, along with like Elf and stuff like that. I really feel like this movie is wildly underrated, and it really boggles my mind that people don't talk about it more. I mean, I really like this movie. It's got a pretty good Rotten Tomatoes score at 78%. It did decently at the box office. I don't understand how it's really flown under the radar to such a degree. I believe. I mean, I don't ever see people like listing it among his best performances, or listing it along like just hilarious movies. It's just, I don't ever see conversation of it. I think that's a real shame, because I think the film definitely deserves that kind of acclaim, because I mean, I think it's just absolutely hysterical. I mean, it's not my favorite comedy by any stretch of the imagination. There's definitely ones I'd put above it, but I think it's just an absolutely fun time at the movies, and just really entertaining. So those are my thoughts on The Other Guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Please hit that like button, hit that share button. It makes it much more likely that other people will come check out my videos that wouldn't otherwise, and that would just be fan-freaking-tastic. And please, if you are new here, hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when I put out new videos, and you can come and check them out and join the conversation, which is something I absolutely love, because I love talking to people about movies, and that would just absolutely make my day, and I really want to see that subscriber count go up. Other than that, have yourself a nice day. Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of The Other Guys, a 2010 movie starring